show, there we go, is Mayonaka Punch. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think the show has petered out. No, not petered out. I think it has hit kind of the interesting point where I think at first the concepts for me were interesting and it was fine. But I think now that we're getting into the main crux of the content creation and all that stuff, I think now we're getting into the parts where I knew it was probably going to be kind of a lull, which is fine, because that's the other aspect of it, right? Like, yeah, it's supposed to be a show where it's supposed to content creation and trying to regain going back to like a bunch of subs. So I'm not completely upset at Mayonaka Punch. I'm not. I expected. If anything, I expected this from Mayonaka Punch. My thing was, it was one of those things where I think I just got my hopes up a little bit. But it's also episode 3. I should point that out. It's episode 3. It's not that bad. The show can easily bounce back if it wanted to. It's at a point where I think it's going to stay, and I think it's just going to stay at like a 6.5, but we get a couple of 7s and even 7.5. I don't think it's gonna hit 8. I doubt this show will ever hit an 8. But the overall premise of this episode was Masaki is trying to come up with ideas for new videos because the other ones aren't really popping off that hard, unfortunately. And so we get introduced to, I forgot the vampire's name, but her name is Gambling Vampire. But that's not her name. She has an actual name, but we're going to call her Gambling Vampire for now. But we get the Gambling Vampire, who she gets introduced, and, she's mooching off of Ichiko and Live, just living there bum-ass free for no goddamn reason. I mean, I assume all the vampires either live with each other or in some close proximity to each other. Because later in the episode, we see Yuki come by when all this other shit happens. But they're trying to come up with ideas, and so the Gambling Vampire is like, hey, listen, let me get into this shit because I need money, and you could help me. And they're just like, hey, fuck off. But what they do is that they jump on the idea of trying to find ideas, and they find the gambling girl's room, and her room has like a century's worth of trash. And so what they try to do is let's have like a treasure hoarders thing where, some people will clean out rooms or go to storage units and they'll find really cool treasure stuff there. And so they try, and it's just trash. It's nothing but trash. Nothing really pawns out. And so she just gets mad, and then they start fighting, and then Live and her start fighting, and they use her powers, and Masaki, even though this is the one thing that frustrated me, it's like, Masaki, you got told not to record their powers. Why are you watching this? You know not to use your powers. Also, there's no way Yuki isn't just watching them. Ain't no fucking way. Because she gets there so quick to cut it off. But she's just like, I knew you were doing it, and it was just like, listen, we weren't even trying to do that. That's not even the case. And there's even a moment where you think Yuki will have you think that Yuki will have a moment of, sympathy, and a moment of like, you know what? You guys probably like, fine, I'll give you this one warning, whatever. No. She asked for both of the SD cards, and she just breaks both of them. The second one, the gambling vampire and Live both just beg on their knees not to delete the footage. And there's a moment where Yuki thinks about it, and then she just breaks it. She's like, you know what? I understand. Nah, fuck you. And then she gets her fucking run back, where she gets all the vampires that currently live in the house to sit there and eat a plate of garlic, and they need to finish it just so she doesn't tell Mother. And I think at least one of them needs to. It's like, one of you guys needs to finish this fucking plate of garlic because what y'all did to me was ass. So y'all are gonna have to do this. Which they're just like, fuck. The gambling vampire, though, gets a pretty good idea to record it. And my concept of it, I don't know if this was what they were trying to do, but, obviously, their first channel that they made, it got a lot of cool stunts because, they're they're doing things that no one can really do. It's like those really cool action shots. But, you know, the Gambling Vampire's got the right mindset. She's got the right idea. Because Masaki was trying to make wholesome content, right? And that's, unfortunately, in the reality of content creation, that's a dime a dozen. That's here, that's there, that's everywhere. That's all over the place. That's a dime a dozen. That's all over the place. However, you know what the thing that people love the most is seeing people in pain, seeing people sad, seeing people tortured. Unfortunately, which they go through the whole process of eating garlic. The green-haired vampire, she is out first. Ichigo's out first. Then the green-haired, no. Both of them are out pretty quick. Live tries to hang in there. She can't because she's just completely tweaking. And then, you know what? I'll give the Gambling Vampire credit. She muscles through it and does get Masaki to record the entire thing. They upload it all to YouTube, and it gets pretty good. It starts the momentum, and then it ends with Masaki joining them. But like I said, there's not. Okay, is there a lot here? I don't know if I go as far as to say that, but it's one of those anime where, how am I supposed to phrase this? How do I want to phrase this? That's the bigger question. It is one of those anime where you know it's not going to be great. You know it's not going to be like a banger, or it's not going to be something that's going to be revolutionary, or something that's going to be talked about for a long time, or something you would even bring up in the year contention. But it's fun. It's a fun ride. It's a fine ride, and it's okay. It's okay. It's been okay. Do I think it'll ever break, do I think by the end of the series it'll break a 7? No. I think at most it'll be like a 6, maybe a 6.5 if it goes down the proper directions. But 6.5 is where I'm currently aiming for the show.